So, over the years, I've noticed majority of students are facing difficulties with circle geometry. Yes, some students reached out to me that this is one of their biggest problems. And that is why I have decided that I have to provide a solution to that. Now, in the course of taking this, you have to keep tab on all of my videos because I'm going to be taking theorem by theorem. So the class is continuous. Now, the first theorem I would like to discuss with you is the angle with which an arc subtends at the center is twice that which it subtends at any point on the remaining parts of the circumference. The angle which an arc subtends at the center of a circle is twice that which it subtends at any point on the remaining parts of the circumference. So I have a very quick way of saying this. Angle at the center is twice angle at the circumference. So I'm going to give you a diagrammatic representation of this. Here I am not here to prove theorem. I'm not going to prove any theorem for you, but then I'll use the theorem. So let me give you a diagrammatic representation of this particular law I have just, of this theorem rather. So let me assume this is the center of the circle. Then I call this B, I call this A, I call this C. Then by assumption, let me assume I am drawing a perpendicular line from B to cut line O at point Q. So I label this one maybe A1, label this one B1, label this part A2, this part B2. Then from this analysis, we can always have that angle AOC is twice angle AOC is twice angle ABC. The angle here is twice the angle here. We can give that picture. Let's see what. So I'll give you a practical example to illustrate this particular information. So pick one. So let me give you an example to illustrate that particular information. Now find the value of x in the diagram. Find the value of x in the diagram below. So I have a diagram like this. I have something like this. Then I have a center. Then I have B, I have E, I have C. Then I have my center O. So then in that diagram, this is 50 degrees. Then you have to find the value of angle S. So in this kind of question, how do I get my angle S? Very easy. Don't forget the rule says angle at the center, angle AOC is twice angle at the circumference. This one, don't forget, a circumference is a line that makes up the circle. So all these parts here are called circumference. Then this is my center. So the angle here is twice the angle here. So that because my angle AOC is x is equal to 2 times my angle ABC is 50 degrees. So that 2 times 50 is 100 degrees. And that is the value of my x. So Don't forget, let me give you another example. What if I have something like this? What if I have something like this? What if I have something like this, y, and this is 70 degrees, and we have to find the value of y in the diagram below. So how will I get y? Don't forget the rules. Angle at the center, angle AOC. This is center now, the one at the center is twice angle ABC. ABC, angle B is part of the circumference, angle at the circumference. So that angle AOC is 70 degrees is equal to 2 times angle ABC. ABC is y. 2 times y is 2y. So that divide both sides by 2, and that your y is 35 degrees. So listen carefully. How do I go about finding the value of the marked angles? I believe there are about 5 different marked angles here. I have angle A, B, C, D, and E. How do I go about finding the angles here? Very easy. Listen carefully. Now, before I go into finding the angles here, don't forget there is a particular rule you have to get yourself familiarized with. Rule of angles. Whenever you have 2 angles, let me assume this is angle A, this one is angle C. Do you know that angle A is equal to angle C? Why? Because the 2 angles are vertical and opposite. And the rule says angles that are vertical and opposite are equal to each other. Now, if I decide to transform this idea into solving this problem, let's see what we have. So that by the time I look at this, I notice that this angle 30 and angle A, they are vertical and opposite. Therefore, I can as well see angle A is equal to 30 degrees. Why? Vertically opposite angles are equal. You must introduce your reason. Vertically opposite angles are equal. Angle A is 30 degrees. That one is cleared. Let me be on the lookout for the next one. Do you know that if I have something like this, from the look of things, don't forget, from ear to ear is the radius. You are familiar with the concept of radius. Any line drawn from the center to any part of the circumference is called radius. So whether I'm coming from here to here or from here to here, as long as it is coming from the center and it is touching, as long as it is coming from the center and it is touching any part of the circumference, it is a radius. Now, from the look of things, do you know that the value, don't forget, definition of circle. A circle is a plane figure equidistant to a given point. That means the distance from this center to this place is the same thing as the distance from this center to this place, the same thing as from here to this place, from here to this place, according to the definition. A plane figure that is equal in distance to the center. That means I can assume that from here to here is equal to from here to here. That means the angle here is equal to the angle here, because these are radius or radii. You understand? These are base radii of isosceles triangle. From the look of things, I'm seeing a triangle here now. Now, from the look of things, I can say angle A, or rather angle B is equal to angle A and is equal to 30 degrees. Why? Base radius or base angles of isosceles triangles. Base radius of isosceles, or base angles of isosceles triangle. Don't forget, for isosceles triangle, 2 angles and 2 sides are equal. You're familiar with the concept of triangle. That's where we are going to now. So, provided I've gotten A and B, I can equally get C. Since I know angle ABC forms a triangle, and from your knowledge of triangle, don't forget, when you add up angles in a triangle, you end up getting a 180 degree. Don't forget, A plus B plus C is 180. So angle A plus angle B plus angle C sum up to 180 degrees. Why? They are angles in a triangle. Sum of angles in a triangle. That one is clear, so that we can equally get angle C. I've gotten A, I've gotten B, I'm left with C now. So shall we go? Angle A is 30, angle B is 30, angle C is what? So that 30 and 30 is a 60 degree. That's a 60 degree plus C is 180 degree. Then to get angle C, collect like terms. Carry this one to this place. So that C is 180 degree minus 60 degree. And C is 120 degree. So I've gotten angle A, I've gotten angle B, I've gotten angle C. I am left with angle D and angle E. So now that we have gotten angle C, we can equally get our angle D, because I know angle C and angle D are angle at a point. And by the time you had angle at a point together, they sum up to 360 degree. The reason must be introduced. Angle at a point. So that angle C is 120 plus D is 360 degrees. Introduce your reason. So that angle D is 360 degree minus 120 degree. So that I can equally get the D. And once I get my D, I can then get my E. Now, D is 360 minus 120 is what? Is a 240 degree. 360 minus 1, 0 minus 0, 6 minus answer. So now after we have gotten angle A, B, C, and D, the next thing is to get angle E. One good thing you should be on the lookout for is, look at angle E, look at angle C. You would notice that angle E is an angle at the circumference, and angle C is an angle at the center. There are two angles here. We have one, you understand? This one is reflex angle at the center, and there's another angle here. So we're going to, this is a respector of this. So that to getting angle E, let's go. So that angle E, by the time I consider this, I'm considering RPQ. That's my E now. So that angle, don't forget, angle at the center, angle R, let me say this one is O. Angle ROQ is equal to twice angle RPQ. And your ROQ was 120. Your angle ROQ is 120. And your angle RPQ is your E. So that I have 120 degree is equal to RPQ is 2, don't forget, 2 times your RPQ is E. So that to getting E, divide both sides by 2, after which your angle E will be what? 60 degree. And that brings us to an end of this particular question. Thank you very much. See you on the next one.